The employment market has never been so competitive. As unemployment continues to rise, the discerning Aluxer is looking to hone their skills for being hired. So we've compiled a list of qualities that employers look for in an interview. Welcome to Alux.com, the place where future billionaires come to get inspired. If you're not subscribed yet, you're missing out. Without any more delay, let's see what you need to learn to put yourself at the top of the candidates pile. Number 1. Never stop learning, rather remain open to new growth. The world is ever-changing and employers are looking for a team that can adapt with it. Showing that you have a growth mindset displays you have the intelligence and insight to understand that nothing is permanent and you'll always be developing new skills and knowledge. It also shows that you're open to grow and develop with the company as it expands and even changes direction, which is a very valuable trait to an employer. Remaining open to learning means you learn from your mistakes and are open to finding solutions to challenges you encounter by expanding your skills and understanding on new subjects. Number 4 on this list ties in nicely with this trait, so look out for that one. If you like the idea of shifting to long-term thinking mindsets, then try our video all about the benefits, short-term thinking versus long-term thinking. Number 2. Great information is nothing without great communication. Having the right skills or a plethora of knowledge is close to useless if you can't communicate it effectively to clients and colleagues. It's about as useful as reciting a beautiful poem in a language nobody speaks. Communication means having the right words, tone of voice, presentation, and body language, and importantly, the correct timing. This requires being able to read the person or people you're communicating with. What do they look interested in? How are they interpreting what you say? How can you get your point across better? This takes some practice, but once you've mastered it, it's one of the most powerful skills in your career toolbox and one of several qualities that potential employers are seeking. Number 3. Creativity is the key to every challenge. It doesn't matter how scientific or rigid your industry might seem. Without creativity, there would be no innovation. Also, creativity is one trait that artificial intelligence can't beat humans at. Creativity offers new ideas and ways to look at problems and solve them using technology we never deemed possible. Creativity is the ability to fully realize the benefits of scientific advancements across numerous industries. Being equipped with imagination to scale or restructure discoveries to provide improved solutions in new areas is priceless. Creativity is the real-life skill needed to make endless possibilities possible, and being able to display this to a future employer is a surefire way to get hired. Number 4. Thrive in a technology-driven environment. 4IR, or the Fourth Industrial Revolution, is upon us. This means there's no escaping the need to be comfortable using tech in your everyday life. From communication to doing your work, you'll see an increase in technology-driven hardware and software. Employability means you have to have at least a basic understanding of innovations like artificial intelligence, big data, blockchains, VR, and cloud computing, to name a few. Even accessing office buildings, you could encounter a number of these technologies just in the security checks, and that's before you've even reached your office. Find out what technology is common in your line of work and learn how it works. That doesn't mean you have to know every button on it, but understanding the fundamentals means you can master any system you might need to work with in your potential new position. And if you want to go one step beyond that, it's important to understand the impact of new tech on your industry, how it will affect the business or your job. This will give you both the insight and the edge in terms of job preparedness and a future focus your employer will appreciate. Now we're moving on to some tips for top-level position character traits. So stick close with us, Aluxers. We know you've got the corner office set in your sights. Number 5. Great decision-making and insightful judgment calls are a prized trait. Another skill that AI will be hard-pressed to recreate is human empathy and sensibility needed to make great decisions. Sure, machines can learn how to process data and even provide insights, but us humans still hold the key to turn that data into decisions that recognize broader social context and the human or environmental impacts. Machines can't consider morale or moral implications or determine public opinion. While technology is replacing humans in more menial data-driven decisions, there is a big need for skills in higher-level decision-making. If you can master decisive, accurate, and socially insightful decision-making, you'll have developed a character trait that is in high demand. Why not flex this muscle by delving into biographical reading and even reading some philosophical text? This will help you develop your thinking patterns with a mix of theory and practice in reaching decisions and making sound judgment calls. And if you struggle to motivate yourself to make decisions and stick to them, why not start by tackling procrastination? Our video 10 Ways to Stop Procrastinating could definitely help inspire you here. Number 6. Emotional intelligence might be more important than IQ to get hired. Emotional intelligence, or EQ, became a buzzword in the 1990s. EQ is the ability to recognize and understand emotions in yourself and those you interact with. Then taking this ability of recognizing emotions to understanding emotions to make sound decisions and solve problems and communicate with others. So you can imagine just how important EQ is to master if you want to get hired. EQ is the ability to read the room or pick up the cues that people are putting out there. It's the ability to bring the best out of people by appealing to their strengths and meeting them at their level. The outward appearance of EQ in a person is a display of traits like integrity, empathy, and the ability to work well on teams. These are people who are often promoted to leadership. Daniel Goleman, who literally wrote the book on EQ in 1995, called Emotional Intelligence Why It Can Matter More Than IQ, explained that traditional intelligence can only get you so far. EQ is what gets you recognized with leadership potential. Leaders need to be able to connect with people, not just with numbers or systems, and EQ is the trait to master to achieve that. So if you want to get hired and start your climb to the top, make sure you get top marks for EQ. Number 7. Leadership skills make you a great candidate to invest in. The average time someone aged 25 to 34 stays in a job is 3.2 years currently. It's also pretty common these days to change jobs every 3 to 5 years. Job switches can lead to a higher salary, more opportunities to branch into new areas and new experiences. If you want to save yourself the trouble of needing to switch jobs, then begin your career with the intention of growing and leveling up with the company you're applying to. Early on in the recruitment process, try to display your leadership skills. This will make you more desirable because it shows you could work your way up rather than out of business. Your employer will also see you as a solid investment to upskill and include in their growth plans. Presenting yourself only for the job at hand might give the impression you're not interested in growing in your career. If you can show your willingness to be flexible, open-minded, and have leadership potential, you will be more employable as a result. Take time to look into the type of upward trajectory the company offers you. In your cover letter or interviews, try to drop in your intention to grow into those types of roles at the company, or elaborate on how your skills can contribute to the company's future direction. Number 8. Solutions to the world's problems require analytical thinking. Analytical or critical thinking is another trait that 2020 has presented many opportunities for. If you're able to solve complex problems using reasoning, logic, and evaluate all sides of an argument, then you're a critical thinker. Companies need people with strong logical approaches to human problems, people that can work out the best solutions using a combination of human to machine labor, and those that can navigate this landscape as variables change daily will be a huge asset to employers. The first step to critical thinking is to analyze the information as it flows from numerous resources. This is based on logic and reasoning and now an emotional response, but it offers more situational analysis of weighing up pros and cons than just what the data adds up to. These skills are required in management and leadership roles as the challenges of solving human issues and delivering data results require some real analytical thinking. Number 9. Diversity and cultural intelligence are non-negotiable. IQ and EQ might get you the job, but understanding and knowledge of diversity will keep you employed. Workspaces are becoming a diverse and open environment where cultures, languages, and beliefs add to the value of a company. If you want to improve your eligibility of employment in 2020, be sure to adapt to the acceptance of all cultures, beliefs, politics, sexual orientations, gender, age, and race before you enter the workplace. You'll be interacting with people of all walks of life, and the more you can meet people with full acknowledgement and acceptance, the better you'll excel in the workplace. It's also important to be able to adapt to different cultures, schedules, and ways of life if you plan to be involved in international business. Here, knowledge of social norms and cultural customs will help you to succeed as a global citizen and a great employee. Number 10. Obtain universal skills that will help you excel in your profession. A skill like project management, for example, is useful no matter what field you're in. If you're a radiologist or a radio DJ, it's a skill that will come in handy when there is an opportunity to step up and manage. Perhaps the radio station is undergoing a rebrand, or the hospital is acquiring a whole new radiology center. Project management skills combined with your specific industry qualifications will help you score the role of managing the project. This can be a great way to show your eligibility for a promotion, or just to give you a new experience from the ordinary and job satisfaction. Perhaps you'll never directly use your project management skills, but as American entrepreneur Dennis Waitley put it, expect the best, plan for the worst, and prepare to be surprised. Pretty rock-solid advice to master, don't you think? And if you need some more tips to prepare yourself for a job opportunity, be sure to check out our other video, 15 Tips to Crush an Interview. Now that we're at the end of our list, Aluxers, we're curious, what's your best experience with job interviews? And what traits did you get the best responses from? What traits do you look for in a professional before you work with them? Let us know in the comments. And of course, for sticking with us until the end, here's your bonus. Don't get left behind in the dust. Embrace change. Change is not going to slow down. If the current rate of tech development is anything to go by, we'll be adapting and adopting month by month in no time. This means that our minds need to remain adaptable, but we also need to remain adaptable in our skill sets to a shifting workplace to remain relevant, or we'll face becoming redundant. Previously, a skill remained relevant for about 30 years. Now, that time is down to 6 years. It's important to adopt an attitude of seeing change as opportunity. It's not a burden, but a chance to grow, stretch ourselves, and innovate for a better world. Thank you for spending some time with us, Aluxers. Make sure to like and subscribe so you never miss another video. We also handpicked these videos, which we recommend you watch next. You can talk to us on all social medias or ask a question on our website, Alux.com. Thank you for being an Aluxer, and we'll see you back tomorrow.